afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Simwaski. This is going to be quite a fight here. We shall be watching in the southern half of the map here. Vonivan fighting for the United States of America for the 2nd Armored Division here, rolling up versus the Krauts. Going up here versus Miragefla here, fighting for Germany, for the Reich, and the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision. Robney on the way, a bunch of them, and we also know an immediate choice of airborne support, the armoured forces of Vonivan versus Miragefla's German mechanized assault and mobile defense. Grenadiers are on the way on the other hand here for Miragefla as well, so infantry from both sides, trying straight here for the fuel. No real surprises there, we'd be more surprised if they hadn't gone for it. So Pioniere moving up there while the rear echelon troops are doing the things here as well, all looking over their shoulder. You know, when's the backup coming? I don't know. They said it'd be here. But in reality, it's all going in the other direction. More gunners arriving from Miragefla. Bulletins, we're looking at infantry, Scott. Interesting. And Panzer Grenadier, Commando style. Not really sure why they called it that. And some mortar bulletins here for him, actually. Interesting, intriguing, even. It's a bit of early aggression there. Points being secured. Vonivan heading towards the village. Interesting enough, he is not going for an immediate unit right here. What could he be thinking? Good question. Maybe he just forgot about it, who knows. Miragefla, they're adding in a MG42, ein schweres Maschinengewehr. And there you go, first engagement breaks out here, Grenadiers versus Riflemen. Other Grenadiers moving up there, who will make it to the building first, and there you go, the Riflemen will be caught there out a bit in the open. At the same time, the right here, an opportunity will be set up here for Miragefla to flank the Riflemen quickly falling back here towards the cemetery, hoping to God they won't be buried in it. I don't want to die in Belgium! Anyways, shots going off there. Already there. In fact, poor Jerry, who in fact did say that, died. Much to his shame, as he'd always for some reason had an irrational hatred towards Belgium. Meanwhile, forces pressing up with the rear echelon troops moving up there. MG42 arriving. The Grenadier will not have much success in the longer run, as they are versus units in heavy carbon structures. In fact, there we go, moving up further. Not exactly looking too good here, although Pioneers moving to assist, Riflemen pushing up the left flank. In fact, the fuel point will then quickly become exposed. Another Grenadier squad here arriving from Miragefla, and the MG42 arrives as well. Dieter went down, so did Harry. Securing points over here, though, for now, making great progress on securing most of the map. Also, Lieutenant on the way, he seems to have something very specific in mind, since he's going very low on infantry for the time being. So, I mean, it's clearly not some kind of fluke. It's not Vonivan going, oh dear, I forgot. No, Vonivan clearly has some kind of plan in mind, and it's a bit interesting. I mean, largely it seems to just one unit sort of occupying the Germans while the rest sort of secured territory, while he then sort of builds up for something bigger. Question is, what is this bigger that Vonivan's building up for? Could it be for some early Pathfinders, some pressure that way? Or what is it? What exactly is Vonivan thinking? I mean, he could, for example, go for some caches. That could also help fuel caches, munitions caches. It's interesting why they come here. He must have chosen a point over here towards that area or something like that. But another Grenadier squad, so we are looking at about a 4 Grenadier squads here for Miragefla and 1 MD42. He's going in somewhat heavy, whereas again we're noting Vonivan is going very light. Maybe he's expecting Miragefla to go sort of heavy tier 1 and might be hoping to punch that, and there we go. M20 quickly following up and then getting a 50 caliber machine gun as well. So clearly now Vonivan's sort of been building up for this punch. He's now about to hit Miragefla, and of course, question is, will Miragefla be prepared for this? Will he be ready? Well, they're getting pummeled by the MD42 gunners, counter-attacking Pioneers holding up here. And of course, there's a slight, problem here so far. I mean, again, he can't really hold much treasure, so there's a quick, swift chance here of Miragefla pushing it. Again, he's banking everything on the M20 and the 50 caliber. We're also seeing the Taylor mines going up here, so that could quickly be something that could, well, rather ruin Vonivan's plans of a quick M20 rush, causing some havoc there upon German positions. Yeah!
is overrunning one of our capture points.
So let's of course see how this actually evolves. For Vonivan. Rolling ahead there. Basically an M8 without the turret. More or less had a 50 caliber and some other stuff sort of stashed in, which generally also used as a command vehicle for reconnaissance units and the likes. I believe occasionally maybe also a bit like a troop transport. I'm less sure on that though. It could have been due to, well, it's much more bases interiors now. There's not really need for munitions racks and whatnot. Finding breaks out in the centre again. The Lieutenant Ford Commander from the Grenadiers holding up things here. Whilst more shifting back into the depths of the cemetery, armoured skirts in the way here. And we do in fact see Pathfinders as soon as humanly possible here for Vonivan. Interesting, interesting. And there we go, the 50 caliber rhyming as well. So Vonivan adding in some Pathfinders, of course, quite good set up beacons. Well, beacons as well, you know, well, Paradox from the land east here, and of course also allows reinforcing before sitting up near the outskirts of the village. I'm trying to moving around here. Huh. Well, either way, that paid off, though it looked a bit weird, really. Admittedly, either way, though, Nat's M20 is no longer there. I've had a 2-big hitbox or something. Either way, a bit of a loss there for Vonivan, a bit of a loss there for Vonivan. That's definitely going to hurt that M20. I mean, that was really something he was in part banking on, and now it's really, well, gone. In fact, he also expended munitions on the armoured skirt, so that was really a huge economic loss right there for Vonivan. Full firing in there, Pioneers moving in, Pathfinders joining in. In a longer prolonged fight, the marksmanship skill can in fact do a bit there to sort of plug out weaker units through this sort of fighting, so that's in fact something that can be pretty neat there. With their scoped rifles and their carbines. Troops sneaking over there. But a small victory right there as we do see take up now adding a Pack 40, but even then the M20 could have done a bit of damage there. Though interesting, he actually went for a Pack 40, maybe not a scout car. That could also, you know, punch into further. We've got the 50 caliber dominating the village church here, making things a bit more problematic for Miragefla. Force again sort of pressure on the flanks. Vonivan really good at sort of keeping up pressure. They're also noting a minesweeper. He's definitely not taking any charge or anything further here. And there we go, troops getting suppressed there by the 50 caliber, doing quite the splendid work here versus the Krauts. Pathfinders mounting, but they are quickly suffering losses in the cemetery. And up north here, Rifleman versus Grenadiers. Looking rather close, they're looking rather close. Ambulance on the way here for Vonivan to sort of further help his troops. Not sure what the 50 calib's actually shooting at now. There seems to be something going slightly off here.
Ambulance taking the field.
In fact, quickly suffering losses.
A capture point is under
the fighting up north continues. Troops reinforcing, ambulance moving in there, and we've in fact seen he's already taking up here for the battalion command post, so he'll be getting armor already. Very soon, in fact.
We're losing a capture point.
Panzer Grenadier running for Miragefla. I mean, once you got a bullet for that, I mean, that seemed rather obvious. 3% accuracy bonus can actually do a bit there to sort of further increase their lethality. Troops reinforcing, rebuilding. Grenadiers counter-tank towards the right flank here. Miragefla is basically sort of centering everything on the centre and then sort of securing the flanks after that, it would seem. Ooh, Lieutenant holding up here, quickly coming up in the Pioneers. Pioneers moving north as well.
Listen up. Gather round. Keep low. Use cover.
Miragefla there versus Vonivan's echelon troops. The Grenadiers quickly win that one in particular due to the minesweeper, which definitely further drops the combat effectiveness of the rear echelon troops. That's good there.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Also plenty of munitions here sort of floating about for Vonivan, though so far there might be nothing to spend it on. He's probably going to want to get the major up, going to go for either maybe a Scot or a Sherman initially. Closing up here through the south of the village. MD42 still remaining here. Pioneers there, point blank with the 50 cal, but they were getting a flapping there, but that's not going to do much. And there we go. Incendiary pitching rounds. Going to continue up there. Further pressure on the right flank. We're actually seeing here the pack is being used to sort of secure territory as well as there, so Miragefla sort of pouring a lot there into that right away. In could consider actually just pulling the Panzers over here to sort of flank the position in the Pathfinder. The 50 cal could maybe then quickly be cleared out, in particular there with their accuracy bulletin, which will note somewhat have their combat abilities. Troops reinforcing. Building still. There we go, he can get a Scott, but again he could be aiming for a Sherman. That could also do well with high close rounds the early versus Miragefla. But there you go, about to get flanked here. 50 caliber though can turn surprisingly swiftly, so I mean that's... And there you go. It's a very swift, very powerful heavy machine gun in fact. Interestingly enough. MG42 they're firing away. Paratroopers dropping in. And we do have a beacon here, by the way, which overall should make the drop safe. We can also, in fact, allow the paratroopers to fight, but oh, looks like the Panzer has spotted it. There you go, dropping down right in front of the Germans. A bit of a risky move right there by Miragefla. Oh, I mean, Vonivan. Miragefla's quick to respond there with the Panzers and the MG42. They could maybe switch out into Abbey, going to take off his rounds again. Paratroopers there trying to make their way through, and they're just getting shredded there. 50 calibers all getting suppressed. The Panzers getting a few kills there. Not a lot, though, due to the heavy cover there. And there you go, charging through. Come on, Jürgen, unless you want to join us Americans here. And there we go, forcing away the 50 caliber. Vonivan has been pushed out of the village, though he's making some progress on the right flank. Rifleman again. Vonivan there, sort of just pouring everything into one point. He's never an all-in character. He's always looking to sort of exploit points in the sides. Good, good. I mean, noting here that in on the right side, also take up support armor co-op. You might be seeing soon some armor here from Vonivan. Vonivan.
Yes.
And there we go, virtually 2 on Miragefla's MG42. Panzers quickly taking to the building, sort of decrease chance of sort of getting horribly gunned down out in the open. Vonivan could maybe consider getting some grenades up for his riflemen to sort of further help here versus the MG4 Bolts infantry, laying down smoke screens, getting closer, then popping in a grenade. Miragefla's response is rifle down here swiftly, moving up some riflemen or grenadiers to deal with that. He's also pulling away from the centre. Interesting, interesting. Leaving it very open, in fact, to a sort of full counterattack here from Vonivan. Maybe he sort of wants to clear up the flanks first and also draw away at Vonivan from elsewhere, who knows. But there you go, first grenade squad, they're moving in, rather countered. Not really a lot of cover here, by the way. But there you go, rifle grenade expertly land down, there we go. The Panzers then move out to cut down the unit on retreat. Well done there. They might want to move it a bit. Oh, there we go, never mind. Tot. Kaputt. Ja. The Yankees are kaputt. Sehr tot. Paratroopers moving in there. Pathfinder's moving up as well. Light acting on the flank, and he quickly falls back. And there we go, rounding up machine guns, further increasing the firepower here of Vonivan's troops. And there we go, Scott arriving, but just as the Scott arrives, the Stug arrives. Achtung! That should make things a bit interesting here. 50 caliber now covering the centre as well. Pack 40 covering here. Both forces, by the way, having equal sort of population at the moment. Paratroopers advancing ahead here. No pinned machine gun for example. No, we are seeing mobile defense here for Miragefla, opening up for counter-attack. Panzer tactician and other fun things. You'd also call in Ostrom if necessary. And there you go, the Scott fires, and well, shot doesn't really do much here to the frontal armour of the Sturmgeschütz. It was 80mm of armour, by the way, just like the Panzer IV, though in-game currently it has notably less than that. And the Panzer IV. Oh, Vonivan there, blitz to retreat, and the Stug there getting off 2 good hits there, though. Not a single miss there from that elite Sturmgeschütz crew. Looks like more units dropping in, maybe an anti-tank can sort of quickly respond here to the threat of the Sturmgeschütz, and of course the loss of the Scott there. Vonivan so far not really having the best of luck there with his initial vehicles. Definitely a bit rubbish there. Force advancing, quickly stopped here by the paratroopers and the 50 caliber Stug bombarding away. And there you go, anti-tank gun there, accrued by Pathfinders. Paratroopers, of course, can't. No, wait, that's right, the beacon is gone, so never mind. They're going to tank and setting up there. Miragefla attacked in a slightly bad position. There we go. No reason to actually use armor piercing rounds versus Stug. Oh, critical there, knocking out the main gun, popping smoke. A bit lucky there for Miragefla. Vonivan advances. You can also actually set up the anti-tanker now with Tay Gain, which increases the range and the line of sight. Oh, that was a poorly fired rifle grenade there. Not here coming in the centre though. Vonivan needs to get more troops up here. But most of the force actually now on the flanks, doing harassment, which actually leaves most of the support in the centre very open to a quick counterattack here from Miragefla. So a bit of a dangerous manoeuvre here by Vonivan. And there you go, the 50 caliber got cleared out. Troops reinforcing, rebuilding. Forces could of course then try to sort of attack Miragefla here and maybe do some damage that way. Ostrommen are not option, so it's the Puma to sort of support the Sturmgeschütz. It's a combo I favour, since the Puma then goes spot further for the Sturmgeschütz, plus of course you can use the target weak point of the Puma to sort of disable the targets, which it does tend to do a bit better than the Sturmgeschütz. And there's some folks there. More paratroops dropping straight in here. Vonivan getting rather bold, and also see a bit of artillery called in here. Probably using the Major for it. Meanwhile though, the paratroops are getting absolutely pummeled there. But there we go. Grenades, artillery. Paratroopers pinned down rather than pull back there from a counterattack from the Grenadiers. And the anti-tank here sorted out by the Grenadiers of Miragefla. Force reinforcing, healed up. So there we go, Miragefla has now actually been equipped with a second anti-tank gun. And Stug is almost ready to join the fight as well. That was there versus the riflemen. Could see the lieutenant go down. That would be a loss for Vonivan. No, it looks like he makes it. The last survivor makes it out of there alive. And there he goes, submachine guns up here, sort of a mix their weapon then for Vonivan's paratroopers. Visual troops are about to make an encounter with Stug. The Sturmgeschütz. And he's enough the 50 calibers not been accrued. But Vonivan those maintaining good pressure on the victory points of the territory, even sort of moving up here, forcing Miragefla to double back to protect the fuel point as well. And so far, Miragefla has not been able to return the favour towards Vonivan's fuel point. Could there be a tactical assault here from Vonivan on the Grenadiers? That could work out quite nicely. No. In this case, Miragefla's quick to pull back, and there you go. Sturmgeschütz opens up the paratroopers. Grenadiers are almost wiped out in the process. But right now there's a slight problem here. Oh, he's calling in another anti-tank gun. Veterans 1 for the Sturmgeschütz in the meanwhile. Also plenty of manpower being flowed there from Marshall. I mean, he might want to consider some fuel caches then or something, instead of flowing around all that manpower here. Unless of course he has a plan just like Vonivan had one. And they're going to tank undropped, paratroopers moving in, pathfinders moving out. Yeah. Looks like we're going to see some notably elite infantry going there versus the Panzer Grenadiers, who are very close to Veterans 2. And there you go. Miragefla in this case realised the situation has been lost and pulls back before he ends up suffering heavy casualties. And now adds in a ton more infantry. With Ostrommen there, one with no veterans in a light machine gun, the other one Veterans 3. Definitely not a bad call in there for Miragefla. The only way it could have been better is if they had both been Veterans 3, or both had light machine guns, or both were Veterans 3 and the light machine guns. That would have been pretty mean too. Question is though, how will Vonivan react to this? We'll be getting a tank destroyer, so he looks like he's got plenty of fuel now actually. So I mean, a tank destroyer could be good moving, and he's got the fuel for it, he just needs the manpower. For some reason, he's not set the anti-tank in there to hold fire versus infantry. Revealing its position there too. Miragefla's infantry as they advance up to the village, right from there taking up position through the church, they're getting away. We could see Grenadier squad going down there. Oh, he makes it away there. Paratroopers though are getting pummeled there, the cover's already largely gone here due to the judicious shooting of the Sturmgeschütz. And they're going to tank and fires again. Forces sneak up on the right flank there. Reinforcing. Escalating. And here we got a man engagement. He should close in with submachine guns and then pop tactical advance. Looks like he will not. I mean, that could easily wipe out this entire Pioneer unit in one go, but looks like it's not quite the case here. Down south, instantly finding him versus the Sturmgeschütz again. I was about to say he's having a bit of a hard time there killing anything, but now just wiped almost the entire Pathfinder unit. I retract my previous statement. Over to Vonivan, who's getting another Scot. Interesting, I would have figured a Jackson or maybe a Sherman. No, he's going for another Scot here.
Looks like we're going in.
An interesting decision.
A capture point is under attack. Ready to go.
Also, from out in the open, they will not be able to do too much there. There's Armor Man to still do something. Panzer are arriving as well. They're veteran T2. And they quickly cause a bit of havoc there on the Lieutenant's unit. In fact, the Lieutenant's already left dead behind. Man engagements up north as well. They're paratroopers fighting at long range with the Grenadiers. Vonivan needs to get out of there very quick, but looks like he might be occupied with another situation there. In fact, that could result in a loss. In fact, yes, there we go. Executed, gun down. Did not stand a chance there thanks to the submachine guns. 50 caliber though breaks up the assault here from Miragefla in the centre. We got the Scot moving up here to add further pressure there versus Miragefla's infantry, maybe bomb it to Kingdom Come. Sturmgeschütz hiding down there, might want to move that up. We're actually seeing he's teching up here, he's teching up. Moving straight here to the heavy Panzer Corps, Miragefla must be feeling somewhat confident or in need of it. They go straight for it after getting only one Stug. Bit of shooting there from the Scot.
Taking one of our points.
Target secure. Make it ready.
Interesting to notice he's not, for example, reinforced the anti-tank gun either. That could maybe be a good thing. Quickly move up the medic truck then heal, or the ambulance. Paratroopers though keeping up the pressure, light machine guns being slowly handed out there to Miragefla's infantry.
We're losing a capture point.
And on the other hand, we do note here the Miragefla actually pulled back the anti-tank guns, reinforcement and healing back at his base, so he's got two there ready to sort of deflect and force back any American assault. Bit of a head-on assault there from Vonivan. Straight out into the open, a bit of a risky maneuver there, particularly considering what's sort of holding him back here. But there goes Stu coming in from the anti-tank gun. Again, he's popping armor piercing round. It's great he's using the ability, but it's not really necessary versus the Stug, I think. I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that while the anti-tank in here does have low, for example, they say the Pack 40, it's not that low either. Might want to get those Ostrom into cover. Entdeckung. Men out. There we go. If that makes tricks to the building, but the building's actually about to collapse. So that could prove out to be a bit fatal then. In fact, the building could maybe resist one more. There we go. Quickly abandoning places. Ostrom taking losses. Spreading out here though after entering into the village. Good, make it less effective here for Vonivan sort of blast away. Stug moving in as well. Anti-tank might be going down there. Panzer is moving forwards, and there we go. The coup is down. Scott there in trouble. Scott is in trouble. So Stug moves forward, ready to claim another Yankee tank. It's 75mm Sturmkanone.
Capture point is under attack.
But there's soon Jackson on the way. Fourth Vonivan should help a bit more versus Miragefla's armor. Also noting a fuel cache is up. Good to sort of work with the heavy Panzer Corps. Looks like he's wrecking the anti-tank gun there. Point secured. Interesting enough, he's not using the major to set up a forward retreat point. And there you go, the anti-tank gun wrecked. Miragefla clearly not having any interest in having more of those, in particular soon about to get Panthers. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Minor harassment force over here. somewhat reinforced, but about to get hit by a much larger force here that Miragefla is throwing at him.
Listen up! Orders! Listen up!
Also got some rocket strikes available for Vonivan.
Crowd infantry.
Infantry!
Set. Over.
But there you go, the Jackson is up. Needs to get those anti-tank guns up to cover here. Otherwise things are about to get very ugly. Slowly advancing up here. Miragefla's infantry is taking losses. Scott's bombarding.
Ready. Go ahead.
But there we go, we've got the anti-tank gun moving up, ready to take a few shots at the Jackson. And there we go.
Capture point.
Vonivan needs to pull that Jackson a bit back before the his own anti-tank hits. There we go. Stuke moves in for a quick shot there. Jackson fires back but misses.
Our supply line just
A
got
second
cut off.
Scott here, so looks like Vonivan's going to sort of try and bombard his way through Miragefla's forces here. Another option could be to get a Sherman and then roll up with a bit of support from here, and then while everything's going on here, calling in a rocket attack, catching everything in a sort of high explosive cauldron of death and doom.
Tank ready.
Also no mid-game analysis, this is a bit of a longer match, so going to cut that one sort of in short, doesn't get too long. And looks like there we go, huge drop in fuel, and notable in manpower as well, so I think there might be a Panther on the way there. He could also get a Sturmpanzer for, I suppose, but a Panther might be the better choice.
Contact! Infantry! Reloading! Grenade! Hit the dirt!
Not already going on here. Things looking down again, another has been attempted there towards here, but encountering a notable German infantry force in return.
Change of plan!
But there you go, the veteran paratroops already cutting down a lot of the pioneers, but a bit of fire there goes off though, burning poor Hank, and there you go, he actually went for the Sturmpanzer 4, a Sturmpanzer support, the Sturmgeschütz. Got him, Himmel. There you go, quick grenade there, falls back the Panzergrenadiers as well, but there's soon something there to sort of arrive to make things more miserable here for Vonivan. And there you go, Sturmgeschütz, closing in on Veteran 2 there. Plus, of course, the Sturmpanzer 4. There you go, second Scott joins in there, so Vonivan's got plenty of sort of things to bash the positions of Miragefla from a bit of a distance with forces sneaking up here, ready to sort of try and move up here again. He's likely expecting either sort of work as a distraction or something else. Maybe you also use to sort of try and pin here. But certainly with that amount of armor sort of being focused in one spot, a rocket strike could work out. And there you go, and second Jackson on the way there.
Promotions, end your mission.
Anti-tank is there getting blasted. Stuke there, coming under light fire. But there you go, anti-tank gun needs to pull back. And there goes Stuke joining in, Veteran C2 already. Scott went down. Vonivan was a bit too slow there to get back.
Gun carrier just got knocked out.
And there goes rocket strike being called in here on the position. Sturmgeschütz rolling back.
Cover your field of fire. For orders. We're getting blasted over here.
There you go, looks like the Sturmpanzer is the target. And there you go, looks like the anti-tank is about to go down. And there you go, Jackson gets behind it, opens up down the Sturmpanzer. Vonivan getting very aggressive there. He really wants to get that Sturmpanzer before he can really do any serious damage to him. They need to be careful, don't get too close. And there you go, anti-tank gun turns about as well. There you go, much of the Sturmpanzer go down. Anti-tank gun got cleared out. Stuke moving in within range of fire here. And everything goes out of control except the Sturmpanzer 4. Could the Sturmpanzer 4 survive this?
Tank was just lost.
And there we go, it goes down as well. Total armoured annihilation here for both sides. Except Vonivan still got a bit of armour and tank destroyers there. But still, heavy loss there to Miragefla. Nice sort of assault there.
Infantry unit being wiped
Leaving most of what Miragefla had burning on the road. Panzer's going up, the anti-tank and flying away though. Need to get away, need to get away. Bad situation, pop some smoke. Pop some smoke. More forces will need to reinforce the assault and some heavy loss there to Vonivan's infantry. Right there, everything's rushing forward. Ostrom unit got wiped out. Very close there to suffering some more casualties. In fact, Miragefla sending in Grenadiers in a not very strong condition as well.
one of our capture points.
50 caliber remains here, but that's also close to collapsing. More paratroopers falling down. Ostrom taking heavy casualties again. More fire. More death from above. Over to Miragefla. Pack 40 moving forwards. Paratroopers there dropping down. Or 50 cal looks like they've been wiped out. Veteran fee on those paratroopers. Pioneers doing a bit of harassment. And the Major remains inside the building, but he's being evicted there by the Panzergrenadiers of the Reich. Moving forward there with the Sturmgewehrs. And there you go, paratroopers gaining veterancy free. Opening up there and matching up there and quickly pop a bun grenade over the top. Nope, never mind. There you go, quick bun grenade. Losses on both sides. Both of the elite infantry units there took some heavy losses. And Panzer Grenadiers, in particular, if they were from elite Panzer Grenadier or Panzer Division units, sort of more of a particular unit, they were generally given the best of troops and the sort of better equipment. In fact, also more equipment overall. A little fun fact there. No tactical assault there by the looks of it. Again, it's a very neat ability, very neat. One of my favourite, in fact, on the paratroopers. Oh, very close to losing the Panzer to the grenade, but somehow it did not quite go well. Paratroopers moving in, they might get the anti-tank gun though. That could be a small coup there for Vonivan to get a Pack 40 on his side.
The enemy has destroyed an anti-tank
So there we go. Generally though, most Panzer Grenadiers were not sort of heavily equipped with assault rifles. As the war progressed, some units sort of got more, but mostly they were more heavy on light machine guns actually. Sort of a little fun fact there. Forces sneaking up here might harass you again. Vonivan again keeping up the pressure here, not just sort of going all in one point. Might want to get out of here though. His men are low on health and there's a lot of light machine guns there. Oh, the Jackson moving straight in front of the line there, the Grenadiers. Might see a Panzerfaust going off there. On this there isn't. And he's just driving around in circles here, maybe sort of keeping things up for the Scots to get off some good hits. Might be trying to sort of, well, I don't know, corral them in to sort of make them sort of nest close to make things easier for the Scot, in which case a devious and clever tactic. But we soon get a Panther on the way for Miragefla, and that's definitely going to spell things are not going to be all happy here for Vonivan. Granted, they are currently too happy. Looks like he's heading northwards here. He's actually using these tank crews there to sort of secure territory. It's a bit of a risky manoeuvre. And he's moving forwards. No use of counter-attack tactics here. In fact, there's not much use of the doctrine besides a quick use of this and this. A bit of a lack, say, of Pumas or command tanks or some counter-attack tactics. Go, Pack 40 ready to fight versus the Germans, and there you go, the Panzerkampfwagen 5 has mobilized. It's the glory of Germany. Troops are getting cut down. On retreat, a lot of my light machine guns. We've still got the Ostrom here with their lightest machine and gewehr as well. Panther mobilizes forwards. He could consider getting some Pintelman machine guns on top there. Careful, careful. Don't lead the way there with the Jackson. Don't lead the way. Ow, all shots bounce off there. The slope aiming arm there of the Panther. Well, there you go. Jackson gets a shot through. Panther pulls back slightly. And there you go, another rocket strike here. Lots of units caught in between. That could easily end up ugly there for Miragefla's infantry if they're not. And there you go, paratroopers just shouting into everything right here would be a good spot, I think, for tactical assault. But no, apparently not. I think he turned against them. In fact, it looks like he might lose the paratroopers. Panzer's there. 22 kills. Got the paratroopers on the way, showing them who's the true elite. Well, the true soldiers. And there you go, paratroopers like machine as well. Panzer's getting very close there. Scott heavily damaged. Panther with a light machine gun on top. A lack of infantry, for that matter, a lack of anything to sort of really deal with the infantry and absorb damage here for Vonivan's causing some trouble. He should at least have maybe, say, a Sherman to help with some high close rounds and maybe a 50 caliber on top, but he's basically down to just specialists and then some very light infantry, which will make some tactics that we're currently using for Miragefla a lot more effective, since there's not a lot to shield the specialists. Ooh, he might try. He's trying to wreck the anti-tank gun before it wrecks his Jackson. And there you go. Need to move that Jackson though, needs to move it before the Panther moves in for the kill. Or something else does for that matter. Vonivan here battling, holding on. He's still got the lead in victory points. So we're seeing another assault on here joining in from Miragefla. Scott doing alright. Not a lot of infantry left here for Vonivan. That's definitely sort of his major issue, since comparatively Miragefla's on the island and able to sort of do well with his infantry. In fact, he's built up. Oh, looks like something got lost there. But overall, he's still sort of managed to build up a decent infantry force, with the Panther doing quite well alongside the Grenadiers. So that's definitely a bit of a problem there for Vonivan. And now he's trying to find and repair it, but we got the Panther moving in. So right here, the situation is not good. There we go, though, nice hit on the frontal armour, but gets Jackson before that. So now there's very little that can sort of really deal with the Panther. But there we go, anti-tank on the crew. He needs to repair it though. I mean, he damaged it himself. So that sort of comes around to maybe bite him in the ass. Another Scott though, another Scott. I really think he should need to Sherman though, as he's again lacking some sort of follow more drastically discourage the infantry. While the Scots are nice, they can't really sort of form a frontline unit, since basically they can't resist a lot of damage before they have to pull back. I mean, 2 shots from a Panther, for example, and that's brewed up, that's gone. Kaput. Still, he's managed to sort of force back. Miragefla, nonetheless, sort of a spirited defense here. Albeit a bit desperate and rather close. There's some MG42 there, which could be turned to his devices as well.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Oh, he lost the Pathfinder unit. Veterans, 3 lost. Sturmgeschütz moving up here to support. And that Pack 40 can only really resist 1 direct hit, maybe, before it goes up in smoke as well. Stu there taking several hits there from the Scots, almost knocking it out. Scheisse. Again, though, German engineering seems to favour as the gun just gets knocked out, but there you go, Panther quickly outmaneuvers it. Scots need to get away. There's nothing to really cover it though. Building collapses as well. And another heavy assault there going in from Miragefla through the centre. And another Jackson in return. But another shift back into the village here. Panther resuming repairs. The Stug in need of repairs. Sadly did not manage to do much in the fight before the Scots took it down quite a bit there in health, and the anti-tank gun sort of did the last bit there. Careful, Vonivan, that's not a tank. Doing his best is to crush some infantry, but in the meanwhile risks a Panzerfaust, which allow the Panther to close in and knock it out. And there goes second Panzerfaust. And there you go, shot fired but failed to penetrate. Second shot though from a Panther will fail to hit. He's moving on though. We've got nothing to sort of really damage to slow down the Panther. Got another hit there.
We have lost the squad.
Infantry are getting wiped out here for Vonivan. Another nice shot down the Panther, but not before getting the Jackson. And the infantry's forced out of the village. The paratroopers doing quite a bit there. Good, 20 kills in fact. He's still not repairing the Sturmgeschütz, so that's just basically going to be hanging around doing nothing. Oh no, don't. He actually did, he recruited the Panther. Scots moving in, trying to get some shots there through the rear armour. Vonivan really playing a high stakes game there. Trying to demo charge even. There you go, anti-tank gun got cleared out. And there you go. Maximans went through the rear armor of the Panther. Needs to pop smoke. Oh, pop smoke. Phew. Damn close there. Damn close. Wreck the anti-tank gun. Panther pulls back. Veteran G2. But heavily damaged as well. Vonivan is nothing if not creative. But he is lacking something to sort of act as a bit more of a bulwark. He needs a Sherman to sort of act as something that can sort of soak up a bit more damage, but also back the infantry a bit more, sort of, you know, steadily with the attack explosive rounds. There we go, another Ostrom resurgent to call in support the Panzerlehr. More Hilfswillige moved forwards. But the Panzerlehr was an elite division, which generally meant, though, not necessarily they always have the best equipment, but generally you could always expect to be quickly resupplied and have losses replaced. That was sort of generally how the Germans operated. They would also get equipment lost quickly replaced. They might not necessarily have better equipment than most other divisions. You could just expect to actually sort of be kept sort of filled up to top, if you will. Though in the initial set, the Panzerlehr was actually sort of better equipped, but by the time of the Ardennes, the equipment the Panzerlehr had was not really that much different sort of from another Panzer division. But then again, another Jackson from Vonivan. Running about there with the Scots. He's starting to lose a bit up there in the terms of the victory points versus Miragefla and the Panzerlehr.
Alright, fellas. Final checks.
Bombardment there. And veterans won. Quick flank assault here with the lieutenant and the veteran 3 paratroopers. And then you got the Stug moving forward again. Both Scots are taking a nice hit there, and there you go, veterans who won for the Sturmgeschütz. A lot of pressure there upon Miragefla, but he's holding up so far. More packs, more anti-tank guns. Panther rolling forwards. Looks like he's going to sort of try and force away the infantry on the right flank there, since he's going to have no anti-tank support. And the Panther with its machine guns there, in fact their negative cover will be able to sort of make short work of any infantry. So right there we go, good work. Sort of constant losses for Vonivan haven't really helped a bit. 27 kills in the Panzer Villiers. Closing in there some iron crosses. And there you go, troops advancing straight into an American MG42. In fact, all clumped up. That might actually work on the favor here for Vonivan. We do see some rocket grenades. They don't actually manage much Panther moving in. Stu nearby. Patrick's called in. He might want to call in now an airstrike here and everything. And there we go, in fact. Oh, Jackson on a bad spot again. There's nothing to cover it. No screen. And there we go. Quickly knocked out.
We just lost a medium tank.
And now the Scots might be in very dire straits there. Patrick's have dropped down. Straight into the middle of everything. There you go, very close to losing one. Scott needs to pop smoke, needs to pop smoke. No. Oh, there we go. Panther missed, but that was damn close. Panther moving in with a line of fire here of the aircraft. Soon to be strafed. Covering, well, a large part of the village actually. And there you go, Panther down to less than half health. And we've seen the rifle make a good move to all the victory points on the sides here. But the struggle continues. Scots being repaired. Again, they're basically the only thing that sort of survives because Vonivan keeps those at a distance. And because they can also pop smoke if things get really dire, allowing them to much more easily get away. The Jackson doesn't quite suffer quite that same luxury, plus Vonivan does seem slightly insistent on using it as a tank which, as you can see, are causing some issues here.
We're losing a capture point.
Paratroopers bring up to reinforce. Quick grenade. Oh, lots of infantry climbed up. Yeah, nice man down, but he's all going to get outgunned. They've even got more Ostrom moving forwards and getting shredded. But also at the same time, basically soaking up all the bullets, allowing the grenadiers to sort of basically shoot away. Need to pull back. No, need to pull back down to 2 men. Not looking good. Things collapsing here.
P-47 air
Falling
support
apart.
now available.
Bring up the Scots here. Major fighting desperately versus the Pioneers.
Ground armor! On me! Listen up!
Pack 40 sneaking up. Panther being repaired, points being secured. Rolling out here with this Scots basically as like a roaming pack of wolves, striking upon any sort of unattended or weak infantry targets, hoping to get a squad wipe that way. Meanwhile, though, the Duke is making very short work here of the Lieutenant and his friends. In fact, I think the... No, for once the Lieutenant actually survived.
Change of plans!
And there we go, we actually got a command tank arriving here for Miragefla, the Befehlspanzerwagen.
Enemy infantry! Counter-assault!
Gun ready.
Looks like an anti-tank gun dropping in there.
Morning orders, gang.
A capture point is
He's
under
certainly a
attack.
bit low on troops and equipment, but he's still holding on. He's still draining points, he's still doing some damage here to Miragefla.
A capture point is being overrun. Run over here.
There we go, command tank leading assault into the village. Nothing to really stop it,
We're losing a capture point.
except maybe the Scots, and that's not only going to work. We also got the Sturmgeschütz moving forwards. Anti-tank has been recruited, but the Scots need to pull away. Pop smoke, pop smoke. And there you go, target weak point, anti-tank found, there you go, veteran G2. Now might be the time actually for some armor piercing rounds. So now the command tank joins in. There we go, shot one through the Stug. But again, oh, Scott got abandoned. And the anti-tank gun is much too close to the Panther command tank. We also got the Stug firing into the flank there. Bad news for Vonivan. And already wrecking the anti-tank gun. The Sturmgeschütz continues to claim equipment and lives for Germany. So a mix of a command tank, an assault gun and a Panther. A potent strike force here for Germany. Also, he's handing the pack all the way over here for some reason. Plenty of fuel, by the way, for Vonivan. Plenty of fuel, but not enough manpower. Again, the infantry keeps getting drained or wiped.
The enemy is
And he's
overrunning
also
one
relying a
capture
lot on
point.
units which aren't so durable. In that regard, you know, while the Sherman might not excel versus infantry or armor, it can reasonably do well versus, in fact, it does better than most medium tanks versus infantry. Plus, it could also soak up a bit more damage than his other equipment, which I think would be the primary reason to basically get the Sherman at this stage, basically just have it soak up damage, allowing the Jacks to sort of engage more freely while the Sherman takes the punishment.
Square away your stations. Lock down the gel.
Another anti-tank gun dropping down. He seems to have given up there on the Jackson for the time being. Panther versus paratroopers. I think we know who's going to win that one.
Change of plans!
57
Yep.
millimeter AT gun now deployable by
Paratroopers
air.
rushed off. They stood no chance. And for now, he seems to be building up for one large counter-attack, anti-tank and infantry all sort of assembling here. All setting up ammunition for another rocket strike. That definitely seems to be some kind of thing getting prepared here. Panther moving forward. So the blessing of the command tank. Almost getting the paratroopers, by the way. And there you go, armor piercing rounds up. There you go, nice shot there through the front of the Panther, but the Panther's getting out close there to Veterans 3. At which point instead they're going to be very lethal there with an increased rate of 5 but also increased mobility. Anti-tank and tank always close out there by the anti-tank, and another shot though gets through the Panther's armour. Sadly not enough. Sadly not enough. And Miragefla more or less at full pop, can't get any more units. At least not anyone he wants. Sturmgeschütz moves up to support as well, providing long range support. He's already popped smoke, it seems. His best chance actually is to lay down a mobile smoke barrage then, but that might not work either. And in fact, Veterans E3. Scott down, Vonivan largely not in a good position. Over to Miragefla, he's now pretty much dominant. He's got armor advantage, infantry advantage. And Ogo just a larger force. Major down.
Yes.
Major down as well. And this is all that remains of Vonivan's force.
The adversary has slipped to 100 points.
A mere shadow of what he once had. Sturmgeschütz watching over the centre. Panther apparently pulling back for repairs. Or some such. Holding on to the victory points. Speeding this up. He's still. Now the anti-tank and they're getting wrecked. Rifle grenade there. And there you go, another Jackson. They're getting off a good hit now on the command tank with his 90mm gun. And the lieutenant down here not having a nice day as he encounters a large infantry force. 33 kills on the Panzer Grenadiers. Might pop a grenade around here. Geballte Ladung. Which also in the early stages will actually serve as a nice improvised anti-tank grenade. Now we're up to 2 Jacksons here for Vonivan. He's always had quick to get a lot of them. Otherwise the infantry's basically rushing around there, not caring about losses.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Vonivan throws everything into it in a last desperate bid here for a victory.
The enemy is attempting to
But will it work? Will it work? Stu Panther moving up there, down to 7 of 5 victory points. Careful, careful. And there you go, Jackson engaged. Stu taking heavy damage there, 2 shots from it, almost knocked out, but again, the main gun somehow saves the day, and there you go, Panthers arriving. Oh, not Panthers, but P-47s. Panther taking heavy damage, Stu almost knocked out as well. And there you go, Panther down, all of Miragefla's armor looks like it's been wiped out. He's getting another Panther, he's getting another Panther. Desperately finding out for the victory points. For now, he needs to get a lot of infantry now. He could call in some troops there. Stu abandoned, but then knocked out there. Paratroopers for Vonivan, or Pathfinder, just something. Down to 1 victory point. Anti-tank gun moving up. Paratroopers are, by the looks of it, being summoned in, or just regular infantry, who knows? Everything's here hanging in the balance for Vonivan. Jackson down. Central victory point exposed.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
And there you go, Panzer fast leaving that Jackson an easy target.
A Panther has arrived from the
Dead. 37 kills, and there you go, another Panther arriving here for the Panzerlehr. Tank crew there. Rushing the Pack 40 there with the grease guns. And he's actually getting a Sherman all of a sudden. Now he's getting a Sherman. That's a bit late, isn't it? And the vehicle crew there murdered by the Befehlspanzer.
How can we help? Enemy armor has engaged us!
Panther fast down, there we go. Northern victory point lost, and as soon as that happens, GG. There you go. Game over. A loss to Vonivan. A victory there for Miragefla. A brutal battle in the longer run. Some bad luck there for Vonivan in the early game there with that M20 somehow detonating that mine a bit from afar there. And some other sort of earlier nasty squad losses. But as sort of the game progressed though, it sort of became down to the more of Vonivan making some rather odd strategic decisions. In particular, I mean, just relying on the specialists while trying to fight a defensive, which of course expect him to sort of come under fire, but he never really got anything to sort of shield the arm, and several times left the centre very open, very well left of anything except the Scots and the Jackson, which left him with nothing to really hold back the enemy with. When he should have had a Sherman or maybe some more infantry. But that never rather quite happened. They were all allowed it very well, made it very easy for Miragefla to sort of push through. First with Stooks and later on with the Panther. I mean, certainly he would get thrown back every time, but he was able to do a lot of damage to Vonivan, draining a lot of manpower and a lot of resource. And he kept losing Jacksons because he kept using like tanks. I mean, they're tank destroyers, not tanks. He should have had some Shermans to sort of act as tanks, and again, sure, they won't be doing it very well versus the other armour. But again, Highflers around to sort of deal with the infantry, and they would do so quite well. And then the Scots sort of bombarding his way on top of everything, and then the Jacksons dealing with the armour alongside anti-tank guns. That's what he should have been aiming for, but that never quite happened. And overall, again, that allowed Miragefla some ease in actually knocking out the Jacksons, since there was nothing shielding them, nothing protecting them. So that was basically the problem right there for Vonivan to a certain extent, if you will. I mean, otherwise, you know, nice aggressive play from it. Again, strategically, there were those issues which overall made it easier for Miragefla to sort of push through, in particular since Miragefla was better at keeping his infantry alive, which also helped him in the longer run, since it also freed up manpower for other things. Whereas Vonivan was basically constantly landing in paratroopers, then getting them wiped out. That also cost him a lot as well, so there are some things there maybe to consider. Miragefla played a pretty solid game. Not really much there to remark upon. The early Tellermine definitely gave him the early upper hand. Good use of assault guns, good use of Panthers. Sturmpanzer didn't quite have much like that. He might have considered, you know, flak panzer to help deal with the aircraft, but that's about it, really. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed today's match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave you some ideas for your own matches. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everybody. If not, you know, send in a replay and find some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye.